apologies there, but I think that is a simple indicator of what we have just seen happen in these last 3 rounds, these back-to-back rounds here from Michigan Tech. They have all stepped up in a big way, but CJ has led that charge, has gone to another level, flipped the switch and said, I'm tired of this, I'm just gonna do it, and has absolutely delivered exactly what we've saw from CJ on map number 1, and is likely going to continue that on that Jaeger position as we get into round number 8. After that Dorms win, we will be headed over to the basement to see this setup, and as we have spoken about before, the Goyo with the Vulcan shields is no surprise to see because of those deployable shields in play. Alibi, Red, also will be bringing a deployable shield, so that's going to be 3 to watch out for. 3 anchor positions to worry about, but it looks like for the time being, J Bunker not going to be contested, so pushing up through tarps will be not much of an issue for this Akron attack.
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy so far as we're watching Hennessy starting to push him with the rest of his team, trying to get themselves any sort of ability to try to grab an advantage early on, try to catch maybe an MTU member, just not watching, maybe catch them sleeping here, as we do see so far CJ up on the top of that main stairwell. Chibs, though, does find Sir Ma on that backside, getting the... Oh my goodness, he's got Maverick off the board. Jake Paul is no longer on the battlefield, but Matt grabbing Chibs, dropping the Valkyrie, so hopefully she got her black eyes out. Otherwise, that's a lot of intel ability gone. As Hennessy also dropping Boomer, it has become an absolute bloodbath on this backside, but wow. I don't even know what to do at this moment. It just seems like both teams are going haymaker on this bottom site.
Well, now this crossfire has been established from the defenders still, and they're going to lock off this push through pillars, but E-Box is now the one you have to worry about. Walking in that electrical door could prove fruitful here for Akron. Jetcon not going to bother, swinging straight onto pillars, supported by 1. That's going to be Hennessy, but CJ has it on his mind to answer back. The timing of that change, he didn't look there at the right exact moment, and unfortunately was not going to catch out one of those players. Still with a disadvantage, but Red will find the head of Jetcon and keep us in the fight. 3 versus 3 now with 1:15 to go. Akron have not wasted any time to take Pillars control, but control of the site is what they have their eyes on next. IMAT continuing to and out, looking for some gap in this defense to try to find somebody, but TK, CJ, and Red are not providing the opportunities that this attack needs. Exothermic charge goes down, but Bandit could very well deny it. That he will. The Bandit trick proved successful, so Akron now seem a little bit stuck here.
Yeah, you know, I completely agree with you on this one. You know what? Considering the guys they've currently on defense, you've got CJ as the Jaeger, you've got TK as Bandit, and Red as the Alibi. This is a very strong combination for this bottom site. You're going to deny walls, you're going to deny the utility, and as we're already seen around here, there's a lot going down as Hennessy's dropped 2, but they've also dropped 2 on the other side, and it looks like, oh no, never mind, just 1, as Red is the last man alive. Arv is trying to get the plant down. He's got to take on Hennessy if he wants to try and get this down to a 1v1, but it doesn't matter as Hennessy drops Red, and that's a 3-man down. For 1 casualty on UA's side. Akron doing very well to push this out for the defense. Well done grabbing a extra point there. This is going to continue on for the rest of the night. I know for a fact this is just going to keep going.
Well, it's going to keep going for now, but Akron have this advantage here, and MTU need to claw back. It is a best of 3, and Akron took map 1, so if MTU are not careful, this could run away from them. We've seen their defensive prowess, and it has been good. It has been strong, but is it strong enough to fight back this 2-round deficit against an Akron attack that is more than capable? We're going to have to see as these next few rounds play out. I'm going to remind everybody exactly what we're playing for here. This is the Invite League Grand Finals, and at stake is not only $1,350 here for the winner, but 5 Corsair Strafe RGB keyboards there, and which is, you know, $700 retail value. Second place will still get a good share of that prize pool, $900, and 5 Corsair Void Pro headsets, $500 retail value. So big money at stake here for these teams. But more than that, I think the glory, the bragging rights of not only calling yourselves the champions of Invite, but in Akron's case, the defending champions, and Akron are, of course, on the path. Their sights are set on that triple crown, you could say, on CR6, which they took, on CEA, which we are watching right now, and of course Face It Finals, which will be tomorrow. It would be legendary for them to do so, but they have quite a bit of work left to do tonight, and Michigan Tech are the ones standing in their way.
Yeah, you know what? That would be a crowning jewel on their accomplishments so far this year. They've really done a lot to put their name out there, to really showcase what they're all about. But it seems like this third one is going to be the one that gives them the most trouble. They got pushed all the way to the end round 15 on their own chosen map. And here it's again another slog, and it's an absolute frag fest on both sides. Both teams giving it their absolute all as, oh my goodness, CJ tries to get a cheeky shot from the bottom end of that garage, but Hennessy was there and doused him and let him on fire going forward. As JetCon also gets found by Boomer, unloading that 45 ACP into his head and dropping him. Ooh, boy, easy dead. Now, going on this one, we do have a little bit of a fight going behind a wall here, as we do have Sirma trying to maybe make a hole through that that construction side double wall, but it doesn't seem to be working out for him, as he is getting double teamed through the small hole that he has made, as well as some nitro cells that have been thrown at him so far. However, teammates are coming to give relief as Hennessy moving down that main stairwell, taking some serious damage along the way, but he is down now. He is there to help, and Arv got TK with the thermobaric charge. That doesn't happen very often. Boy, I don't think he's going to live that one down going forward.
No, he is not. Now, Boomer here completely gets the free kill onto Surma, but Surma denies it. Oh no, Boomer. Hennessy will find another onto Chibbles, and Red is now left all alone with the potential round to take us to match point. That's going to be one onto R, but he's got 3 more. He'll find one. That's Hennessy, but no, Surma denies it. The free life gifted to Surma by some unfortunate shots there from the Goyo. They're going to look back on that one and not like the way it played out.
No, I completely agree with you on that one. That is, mistakes were made, and they were exploited, and they were punished hard for it by Akron. Akron really got into the in-betweens of their armor on their defense and pried it apart. They got a kill with a thermobaric charge. That doesn't happen very often in Invite. So, you know, it must have just been an audio cue. Didn't come up for him. He didn't hear it properly. Or maybe he thought it was on a different wall. But it ended up dropping him. And that really gave Akron a massive advantage on that one. Grabbing someone from that side. Mostly all of MTU's complete concentration was going to be on the breach. And then Hennessy and Co. came around the other way, dropping a few more. Again, a very well-played defense by the Alibi, pushing through that backside, getting 2 kills, but ultimately was for naught, and they did lose the round. It is now 6-3 for Akron.
And now we are on match point, and this is a big round for Michigan Tech. As will the next 2 rounds, of course, will be if they are able to secure this one. I'll touch on that killed with the exothermic charge onto TK. I believe he was going for the bandit trick on that wall like we saw him do the previous round.
Oh, okay.
But he was a little bit late, and he stuck it when he needed to, go off and not, play his life rather than play the wall there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out so well for him. An unfortunate mistake is really what characterized that round for Michigan Tech. We saw the Goyo, I believe that was Chibbles or Red. They had a free kill there onto one of the attackers. That would be Surma, and it really didn't go his way, unfortunately. The potato aim taking over in that situation. The pressure getting to him there just a little bit. But we've seen tremendous siege from Michigan Tech tonight. They just need to refocus, reset, and find some way to take 3 rounds in a row against Akron. Definitely easier said than done, but not impossible.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. They are behind at the moment. There is not a whole lot of wiggle room to go on right now, but there is a chance. Slim, albeit, there is still a chance. This team is good enough to bring this back, and we have seen it before. Both teams are capable of great things. This is the end of all things. This is the grand finals. Both teams going for the win. There is no in-between for this. You either win or you lose, and this is going to go forward with how MTU and Akron will continue to battle this out to the death as we see IMAT and the teammates start to push in, trying to get themselves as much map control as possible. As we see a weird flick by Matt trying to look down towards the back end of that stairwell, as it looks like he's decided to rotate around and maybe try and find where CJ is. So far, it's been hit or miss for him. He's either done a lot of damage and done a lot of kills right off the bat, or he's been canceled out rather early, and I think that's kind of hurt his teammates. Albeit, though, he is still 11-7, doing a serious amount of damage all the way around. I think with how he has played, he has done a great job. It's just really hampered him when he's been caught out in the open or basically more or less cut off as the roamer. But here going forward, we're just going to have to see how it goes. As we've already seen Chibbles taking a little bit of damage, and Hennessy starting to trade some fire with their teammates up top. Jebcon getting red with that one shot to the head, and now it's back to Hennessy trying to clear out the back end of Billiards.
Well, Hennessy now working his way here up the white stairs. CJ potentially could work a flank here as he comes up the freezer stairs as well. But there is a player watching this, not to mention gridlock tracks everywhere. Hennessy finds one, TK cut down, 3 more left to find between Akron and the victory. CJ, though, takes down IMAT and a bunch of these gridlock tracks at the same time. Hennessy continuing this pressure onto site, but Boomer gets cut down by Arb. The Thermite making his presence known. Hennessy onto CJ. It's up to Chibbles. He'll find one, but here comes the trade, and it will land. JetCon will take Akron to the victory, and Akron will be your defending Invite League champions.
That was rather well played. They were able to win it out both matches. The first one so very close, all the way to the end of overtime in round 15. This one much more, much more strong, if you want to call it that. They seem to just know what to do, when to do it, how to push, where to push, what angles they needed to create the crossfires on. Just a lot more strength in their pushes on it. It seemed that both teams more confident on the opposite maps, on the other side's picked maps, for that matter. On Coastline, MTU really showing almost a calm, cool, almost ice-cold logic, pushing forward with a lot of their attacks, doing some serious damage. But again, on the backside, Akron doing some serious magic and wizardry on this one, really pulling MTU apart. There were some mistakes that were made and ultimately led to Akron still being the reigning champs of CEA.
That they are, and they will take home that $1,350 grand prize, as well as those Corsair keyboards. There will be a prize, of course, for the runners-up. MTU will take home some money and some Corsair peripherals as well, but of course, it's Akron who prevailed, and they will not only retain their Invite Champions title, but they will now be on track for the Triple Crown. Tomorrow night, of course, they will be facing UGA in the Face It Grand Finals of that preseason. But let's talk about exactly what happened here tonight, because I think MTU are continuing to solidify their place at the top of Collegiate Siege. Not many teams can take 5 rounds in a row against Akron. Even on a fluke of a night for Akron, they usually bounce back. IMAT shows up, gets a clutch. Hennessy clutches. One of the players will deliver something. But 5 in a row on Coastline, a map that Akron, consider one of the biggest Akron powerhouse maps. I think a large part of the community will agree with me on that. It's unfortunate that, it ended up shaking out the way that it did because of how strong MTU were. 5-0, it's impressive. And I think MTU are continuing to make a name for themselves, but it just wasn't quite enough tonight against a team like Akron, who were a little bit more well prepared on Oregon, and their gun skill and their play style just prevailed over the top of a very strong MTU team.
Yeah, I got nothing but agreement with that, especially on Oregon with that one round where IMAT was left to his own devices, I think on 2 separate rounds where he was the main individual who had done the most damage, for that matter. It really came down to MTU took somebody with that amount of power, that amount of ability to really punish you, and they just completely forgot about him, and he punished them greatly for it.
That he did. And we are going to have our interview with our champions. It's going to be IMAT coming in from the Akron team here. IMAT, first of all, congratulations on defending your Invite League title and on working your way to a potential little triple crown.
Thank you, man.
I would love to hear. We'll talk about your dominance on that second map and your comeback on Coastline first. But I want to talk about coming out on Coastline and losing 5 rounds in a row on a map that I know you guys are extremely capable on, one of your strongest maps. How did that feel, and how did you recover from that?
In general, like we were even thinking about maybe try to take a tactical timeout and rehost, but we were just talking about it a lot. Like those rounds in the early were all super close last second. Like it felt like they were just like not getting lucky, but they were just winning like that one gunfight that won, and we're trying to figure out like what it is to like win. And I just feel like we ended up grasping what it was, and we just brought it back together. Me and Jet just communicated. We're like, we just gotta play aggro on them. We know we're better gun skilled, so we just played as aggro as we could, and Jet went crazy.
Well, yeah, he did go crazy, and you went crazy as well. Some really good plays, and making that comeback and winning that map. Was there any point in that map where you were like, you know what, I think we've lost this map, or did you maintain that confidence the entire time?
Last week we played a face-it match in the semifinals versus GCU, and we were down 5-0 on Consulate, and we brought it back and won 7-5. So we're never out. We're just don't never count us out. We keep our heads very even on game days. We might be tilted when we play ranked or whatever. It's kind of just for fun, but we are always like all on, ready to play in game days.
Well, you guys really came to play tonight. I'll pass you over to Spades for any other questions.
So actually, I do have one question for you, Matt. There was at one point in time where one of your teammates, I believe it was JetCon, he got stuck in security between Red and TK. And you came in like the cavalry with the trumpets, taking down Red and grabbing him out of there. Was that a calculated play? Did you think, okay, I need to keep as many of my guys alive as possible to try and switch this up? Or was that just you coming in and going, listen, I need to pull some frags off of here and start pulling some guys down off the board?
Well, me and Jet play very well together. He's a very great, like, what I used to play, it was me and CJ doing the same thing, same roam duo. But now it's me and Jet, and we've gotten very good at it. At the beginning of the season, it was a little rusty because we have never played with each other before. Mm-hmm. And then I think at this point, since we're on this team and we're on Matt Square together, we pretty much we have that roaming pretty well down together. He's just like, I'm getting roasted. Let's just try to play very together. And then we were just communicating what we're doing, and we knew that there was one main. He said that he's stuck, and he told me where the other guy was, and I just killed him. And then he ran, and we got out of there.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Your guys, even though, like you said, there was just 1 or 2 gunfights, 1 moment or 2 moments that really turned the rounds, and they were very, very close all the way up to the end on that first map. But it seemed like you guys were working in tandem, and when things didn't go your way one round, you seem to slowly but surely adapt your play style together and start to really put the pain on the MTU by the end of that first half. So that was really well done. But the second part I want to talk about is that second map on Oregon, where you were in the big tower and they just left you alone after they didn't want to deal with you. I was talking to Jay-Z here, and I was saying, listen, you cannot let Matt roam. You cannot give him open ground, because when you do, he will find the corner that comes up behind you and just annihilate your team, and you ended up getting that 2K. So my question is, for teams that face you, do you just kind of smirk when they just leave you alone and hopefully you don't come down from your tower spot there? Or what's the mindset there when they just kind of leave you alone?
I just love taking gunfights. I play this game. I think the best way to describe my playstyle is somebody in Jet's chat typed that I was trolling, and I kind of agree. I play very aggressive, and I take gunfights, especially in collegiate, because in my opinion, the competition's there. Like, don't get me wrong, CJ, Red, very good players, but the whole team in general isn't working very well together, even though they have people with very good gun skill. So if I just play aggro, I usually can get some of their good players, some of their not so great players, and I think in general it works very well for collegiate.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Especially that second map, you guys showed a strength in both your defense and your attacks, really pulling apart and picking apart the armor and the defense of the MTU, either on the attack or the defense for that matter. That was very well done. I don't know if you've got any closing statements here, Jay-Z, because I'm overall in awe for both teams' performance. more so on Akron's side for the mental fortitude to push all the way through to the end of overtime, collecting the win, and then ultimately getting the second map as well. You have anything else?
I don't have any other questions, but I always like to pass it to the victors. And obviously, Matt, this is your chance to shout out whoever you want. If you have any fans or supporters at home, and Mike is yours.
Just shout out to everybody watching, man. From each team, from they're rooting from each. Everybody has their own root. Like everybody's rooting for everybody. UGA, as we're gonna face them tomorrow, probably just watching. Trying to see what they can get on us. Then you got everybody's family from each side. Then we have other people just in the community. It's great to see everybody out here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. And first of all, congratulations on your win, and we wish you luck tomorrow night against UGA. That'll be a great match. Thanks so much, man.
Yes.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, before we close this one out, we're going to have to thank our amazing sponsors. First of all, Corsair, providing not only the support for this league, but all of our amazing merchandise for our winners, of course. Next, Rogue Energy. Fuel your game with Roam Energy, and you can use code CEA at checkout for 10% off. Finally, new at whatsnew.com, providing all of your esports merch needs, not only for your favorite teams, but you can customize some gear of your own. Tomorrow night, though, be back right here at CEA Siege. We've got the Open League Finals. That's going to be between GCU and TTU, Texas Tech and Grand Canyon University, and it is going to be a showdown of a match. I think it's going to be even more exciting than what we saw here tonight, so be sure to tune in for that. Once again, I have been Jays Wills, joined by the One True Spades and our lovely observer, Calvrix, on the sticks tonight. It has been a pleasure, and we hope you all have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.